I check. Sitting down with Neuralink's first brain chip implant patient. Yo, X-Core Clips, thank you so much for the sub, bro. I appreciate you, heavy man. Welcome to JCRI again. All right, check. Let's get the shit.
Elon Musk announced that for the first time. In January, Elon Musk announced that for the first time, his company Neuralink implanted a brain chip in a human as part of a preliminary clinical trial.
This is fascinating. Neuralink aims to help people living with debilitating conditions.
This shit is like crazy, but also scary at the same time. Like, it's insane. Thank you so much for the sub, Nick. Appreciate you, bro.
Communicate and control external devices with their thoughts. And I will sat down with the patient who received that implant in an exclusive broadcast interview. He is with us now in Atlanta, Georgia. Will, good to see you. And this story.
Bro, looks fine to me after having a little hole drilled in his head or some shit.
It certainly is, DeMarco. It's the future is arriving faster and faster these days, and it was my honor to get to sit with Nolan Darbaugh, who was a fantastic.
Oh, it's not him.
Fantastic subject.
He's just a reporter.
A lot, paralyzed for nearly 8 years now, but he says this Neuralink device has really changed his life.
I didn't have anything to wake up for in the morning, and this has changed that for me.
In a GMA broadcast exclusive.
You know, he really is the perfect person for this type of shit. Cause like really, I mean, there's people like him that like, to them they have nothing else to live for. And it's like, this is giving them some last final hope. You know what I mean? It's like their life is just miserable. You know what I mean?
Exclusive. Nolan Darbaugh, the first human implanted with a Neuralink chip in his brain, is telling his story.
Is that how bro drinks? Is that how bro drinks? That's dope if it is. Or am I tripping?
Morning, and this has changed.
The first human implanted with a Neuralink chip in his brain is telling his story.
I accepted that I was paralyzed and that was my life. I always held out hope that it would all get better.
At 22 years old, Nolan says he dove headfirst in waist-deep water, struck something, and sustained a spinal cord injury.
22. He was barely older than my ass.
He couldn't move from the shoulders down.
From the time of your injury
man.
until earlier this year, what was your daily life like?
I mean, one thing about being paralyzed is that there's a lot of time to sit and think. And so I thought through basically my whole life and realized all the mistakes I'd made. And
oh no, bro, that's gotta be like so fucking terrible, bro. Like, imagine being in his situation and having nothing but time to sit there and think. Like, you can easily, especially with his situation, like the situation is in, you can easily drive yourself into like depression, simply, and just like if you got nothing but time to think, there's a lot of thoughts going through your head that you gotta fight.
what I could do better.
Then, just last year, Nolan, now 30, receiving a life-changing opportunity.
One day, one of my buddies from college called me up. We talked pretty regularly, and he was like, hey, Neuralink, they opened up the human trials. And I said, what's Neuralink?
Neuralink, co-founded by Elon Musk, is an experimental implantable brain-computer interface.
I didn't know it was co-founded. I thought he founded it.
Or BCI, a chip surgically implanted by a robot and connected by threads to a patient's brain that allows the patient to control a computer or smartphone with their mind.
This is all from there to there.
Yeah, man.
Wow.
Neuralink is not the only
That's fucking amazing.
company working on this technology. Several others are also testing their BCIs in paralyzed volunteers. Nolan now joins that small group as Neuralink's first patient.
I was just very happy that I would be a part of something that I believe is so monumental and this next step forward of helping people with paralysis.
What can you do now with the chip implanted that you could not do prior?
I can control a computer just like anyone else can, which is not something I was able to do beforehand.
So how do you like, how would you like click on something? Like, do you have to like hover over it for a specific amount of time? Like isn't that how the Kinect used to be for the Xbox? I had to connect. That's why it came to my brain. Bro, can you play music?
Just played some music?
Yeah, man.
That's awesome.
And it just turns down the volume.
Do you worry because you are the first patient that
something unforeseen could go wrong now that this is inside your head?
He's patient zero. Bro's patient zero.
I wouldn't say worry. It was something where I knew that if I did this, then it would take a lot of headache and heartache away from the people down the road.
Just last week, news that some of the threads in Nolan's brain had retracted, affecting the performance of the device.
How'd you take the news when they told you that the threads had retracted?
Yeah, it was really hard. It was very, very hard to give up all of the amazing things that I was able to do. I think I had like cried basically afterwards.
The problem becoming an opportunity for the makers of Neuralink to explore solutions.
The reason we do clinical trial and early feasibility trial is to
So it stopped working? Like it stopped being compatible with his brain?
cover these sort of issues as early as possible before they get marketed. And we rolled up our sleeves and found various different ways to for Nolan be able to recover his performance, which we have successfully been able to do.
As for Nolan, the future of the technology only looks bright.
It's going to be amazing when someone can have a spinal cord injury, go into a hospital, get surgery, and walk out a couple days later. I think it's going to happen. I don't think it's as far away as people might think.
No, especially with AI and everything too. Like incorporating AI into something like this, where like something that's very superior when it comes to knowledge, or can instantly give you knowledge. Or not instantly, well, yeah, they can instantly give you knowledge, like AI or some shit. I think that, yeah, I mean, with AI, this shit could easily be like progressed through like fast. I feel like.
Later. I think it's going to happen. I don't think it's as far away as people might think.
And Will, you mentioned that this isn't the first of this kind of
It's great,
technology.
bro.
Why do you think we're
It's
hearing so much
amazing.
about this particular one?
Well, there is the Elon Musk of it all, Eva, the billionaire founder. Of course, draws attention everywhere he goes. Neuralink's main thing is the tiny little threads that are thinner than a human hair that are implanted in a participant or a patient's brain. That is what they're advancing the most in their technology. There are a lot of companies doing it. Elon Musk does help bring the attention.
I can't get enough of this story. So when could this implant be made more widely available?
Well, DeMarco, anything with medical breakthroughs generally, the time horizon is measured in years. But DJ Suh, the co-founder of Neuralink, did tell me that his company is planning to implant participants number 2 and 3 in these trials in just the coming months. So they are looking to ramp up these trials, as are other
But 2 people.
companies of similar nature.
Some fascinating stuff. Well, you mentioned that there was a problem with the.
It's so weird to me that like they literally like cut like a little hole like in your head out and put that shit in there. Like that to me is just like a red flag. Where shit it works.
Connective threads. So what has Neuralink done to fix that problem and for the future?
Like that shit seems like almost some like back then there was actually people who I forgot what it was called, but it reminds me of whenever there was an actual common practice where people used to, where doctors or some shit used to drill into people's heads to like fix either like mental illness or some shit or whatever, and it was literally a practice or some shit like that. So yeah, this is kind of what it reminds me of, but much better and safer and logical.
Well, Dr. Darian, what the problem was those threads retracting, which basically in layman's terms means that the device wasn't working as well. But what Neuralink did was go in, tweak the algorithm, and they claim now his BPS, bits per second, that is the standard measurement for how this stuff works. They've actually improved it, they say, versus when Nolan was initially implanted. So
Okay.
this is all uncharted
So
territory.
it was compatible with Bro, and then it stopped being compatible a little bit, and then they messed with it, and then now it's compatible again.
For the most part, so they're figuring it out as they go.
But look how far we've come. Wow. All right.
No, but shit is
thank you very much.
insane.
We appreciate it and good to see you.
Yeah, share. Yeah, it's just fucking the same. Next video.